Okay, we are doing 5B on the study guide for the review chapter. This is a polynomial division problem. I chose to do this one over the other one because people asked for it. The other one, letter A, just make sure that you do a 0x term in there when you're spacing things out. Anyway, so I need to divide. My key here is the x. I need to divide that into, actually I'll do all my work in red. I need to divide that into the 5x cubed and write it right above it. So I get 5x squared. Now I multiply that by the whole x plus 2. So I'll show the work here for this one, but I'm not going to show it for any of the other ones. 5x squared times the whole x plus 2. That gives me multiply here, 5x cubed, and then multiply here, plus 10x, run out of space, squared. So what I'm going to do is write that right here, 5x cubed plus 10x squared. Now I need to subtract, so I'm going to change the sign of the whole line there. So the 5 becomes negative, and so does the 10. So I'm going to scratch out the plus and write minus. Now I add. 5x cubes go away. 3x squared and negative 10x. Add to negative 7x squared. Now I'm going to bring this down. So I get negative 7x squared plus 2x. If that was a minus 2x up in blue, then I would bring a minus 2x down. You need to carry that whole sign down. But it's plus here. So now I repeat what I did to get this 5x squared, but I do it with the last line that I drew, the 7x squared, this one right here, plus 2x. So I divide x plus 2 into it. Or sorry, I just divide the x into the first term. That gives me negative 7x. When I multiply it out, remember I'm doing this work right here, but I'm not going to show it. I get negative 7x squared minus 14x. Now I got to subtract. Hopefully I don't run out of space here. So I got to subtract. That gives me, I need to change the signs to subtract. So that changes to a plus, and that changes to a plus. Sometimes it's hard to look back and figure out if you've done that process, that changing the sign, like in this case, so you need to keep track of it. So now that I've changed the sign, I can add them. I get 16x. Need to bring this down, plus 1. Repeat the process of figuring out what goes next up here. So I divide this into 16x right here, and I get 16. So I write plus 16 here. Now I multiply the 16 by the whole thing. Right here, this whole x plus 2. That gives me 16x plus 32. Now I need to subtract. So I subtract this, which now you can see I need to change the sign here. When I add those guys now, because I've changed the sign, so now I can just add them. I get negative 31, and that's my remainder. That's what's left over. And I can write remainder negative 31, or if you want to write, I'm going to write it down in the corner, negative 31 over the divisor, which was x plus 2. That's totally fine as well. Either answer is acceptable. That's it. Hope that helps.